Reaction now from Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona, member of the House Freedom Caucus and House Judiciary Committee. Sir, thank you for your time this morning. So was this the right move by the president?
Yes, I think it's the right move. It's been a long time in coming. I mean, this is not a right. You don't have a lifetime right. This is not a God-given inherent right. It's a privilege to hold security clearance. And once you're no longer benefiting the national security interest of this country, you don't get to have that security clearance anymore. And so you just step aside from the vitriolic response of Mr. Brennan, and you look at Mr. Brennan's actions and some of the others that we've been talking about this morning, Comey, et cetera, and you realize there really is no national security interest, no reason why they should have a security clearance that they want.
Dianne Feinstein, a member of the Senate Intel Committee, obviously a Democrat, she's responding with this statement on revoking his security clearance. The president's decision to revoke John Brennan's security clearance and threat to do so with others harms our national security and once again shows how petty and thin-skinned President Trump truly is. Congressman, what do you say back to critics who say this is retaliation on the part of the president?
Well, I don't think it is retaliation. First of all, let's take a look at what we're talking about. We're talking about people like, let's say, an Andy McCabe, who we know has lied. We talk about Comey, who has leaked classified information. We talk about Lisa Page. We talk about Peter Strzok. We talk about Brennan and Clapper, who lied to the Intel Committee. We talk about people who have actually abused the privilege of having a classified status. And so it isn't a retaliation, and it doesn't mean you're mean-spirited or thin-skinned. What it means is we are actually protecting the national security interest. And so if people abuse their privilege to have a security clearance, it should be removed. It's that simple.
There are other security clearances that are being reviewed, as the White House has now laid out. I heard you just name a lot of the names that we see on the screen right now. Are you suggesting Susan Rice, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Bruce Orr, you named James Comey? Are you suggesting that you would like to see more?
Absolutely. You know, for over a month, I've actually been calling for the removal of these people from security clearance. And in fact, if you talk to most Americans, they didn't realize these people still have security clearance. The only reason that we ostensibly even give security clearance when someone no longer works there is if we need to consult with them about something that is of national importance. And once they've abused that privilege, the question then turns on, what is their credibility? And none of those people that we just named, whether it's Rice or Strzok, none of them really have a lot of credibility left. And so they don't really need that clearance at this point in time.
Senator Ron Johnson was on Fox News earlier this morning, basically sharing a very similar sentiment on this being a privilege and reminding everyone of that. Watch.
A security clearance is a privilege, and I think John Brennan was abusing that privilege. I mean, just take a look at his partisanship as a former CIA director coming out on cable news shows and just the divisive attitude he was taking. Again, he certainly was never going to be consulted on by this administration, so why does he need it?
You know, going back to your point, Congressman, I think a lot of Americans didn't realize that these people still had their clearances.
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you. I was actually stunned the first time I heard that everybody from former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton to people like Brennan and Clapper still actually had their full security clearance. That blew my mind away, and I said, look, this is not good. I mean, if we don't need them, then they should not have that clearance. Clearance is a privilege. It shouldn't be used to say, oh, attaboy, you served here, that was great. When you're no longer providing credible consultation with us, we don't need you to have that security clearance. In fact, you become a liability in my mind.
Got it. Congressman Andy Biggs, thank you for coming on the program.
Thanks, Sandra.